Alrighty guys, how you doing? Today we're going to be looking at afterplant positioning on Mirage. And as per usual, I'm going to be using pro demos to do this. So you'll see this first clip here, we've got Virtus Pro coming onto the B site. I'm just going to look at how they set up. So it ends up being a 3v3 after Pasha gets picked off. And you'll see the three positions. If I just pause it here quickly, you'll see they've got quite a good setup here for people coming through market and also short. This could get broken down with a player coming through apps. Taz is only checking it every now and then, so they've got the timing right. They could take out Neo, and this whole situation would have been a lot worse than putting a lot of pressure on Snacks. But you'll see here, Neo's obviously watching the two entrances for market. Snacks has got vision onto short for any info, and you'll see in a second, but Taz is actually looking for anyone jumping up out the window, so they can't actually see him until they jump up because of a little box here you can stand on sometimes. So if I play the clip now, there's Taz looking over his box, as I said, for anyone that jumps up. Snacks has got eyes on a short. He's also a little bit worried about apps. Taz still looking at the box, but he just does jiggle back to look at apps. I just don't think I got it here. Neo obviously gets the first engagement here as they come out market. Gets that first kill. And this peek here by Snacks is very important to trade this kill because he knows they're going to be concentrating on Neo. Taz also peeks the door position to make it more of a triple peek. Gets picked off from the window, but Snacks is able to win the 1v1 with a nice swing wide as he thought he could be jumping out the window and just manages to get the kill on him. So this position by Taz is something I'd never considered before seeing this demo. You'll see here it's quite nice actually, like they can't really see you until they're up on the windowsill, and which point they're most likely jumping out and looking at Neo's position like this. So this is how Taz is playing, comes back, checks, so you'll see anyone coming through apps there. Snacks is doing something similar, bench the most powerful spot to be after plant in my opinion. He's got short, he's something like this, he's pretty confident no one's there, so he ends up going like this, and he ends up peeking. This is very important. A lot of players will just sit at bench, they'll sit like here or something, or they'll sit just here and wait, or they'll just hold this angle. It's very important when you're playing bench, do take this peek when you think the timing's right, because obviously, as most of us know, they're going to be checking Neo's position when they come out, so if you get the timing right, it's often a free kill, and I've seen a lot of retakes lost because the player at bench is way too passive and he needs to peek at the right timing when he gets the information from his teammate, as Snacks does. Neo just playing a very standard position, not really much to say there. So I like how Snacks peeks. Taz comes to peek this as well. I think he gets a bit over aggressive or something, comes out to an area like this where he gets shot from the last player alive, turning it into 1v1 for Snacks. He could have just played an angle like this. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Maybe he was worried about a player coming late short or from apps, so he wanted to get into a new position, maybe not expecting 3 through market. And that's about it. Very simple. Snacks wins the 1v1 with a wide peek. I like this peek from Snacks out wide. He thought maybe he'd be jumping out window, worried about time. Also, one thing to note is Snacks doesn't come here and peek like this. He backs off and peeks the back angle. This is very important because it doesn't open you up to window. You see he gets this angle, just one angle to worry about unless someone comes from app very late, but he'd already checked that. He comes and checks this, then peeks out. If he peeks in this forward position, he's exposed to this angle, which is okay because he'll probably win this fight. But also if someone comes into window and just peeks it. So if you come like this, Snacks is probably dead. A peek like that. You see Taz can't see this from his position, and Neo's not going to be able to see it. So just little things like that which could be round changing. So this round here I'm going to look at more what happens when you have a man advantage or a 2v1 in this particular instance here. So you've got two ways to play a 2v1. Obviously Taco luckily wins that fight there, which puts him in the 2v1. You can either set up a crossfire, or you can go together and control an area of the map which lets you defend the bomb, which is what they do here. So they both push into market, especially when they hear that vent break from jungle. And you'll see Fallen gets picked off, but then Taco's there to trade it straight away. One thing I would have changed, I would have had Taco peek first and not Fallen, because very risky with Taco having the low HP, but it does work out with them in the end. Now, on Mirage, there's about 3 places you can do this. One of them is if you plant for short, you can both push up short and defend it from there. Market, like I just showed. And then you can also do it from A site. Pushing CT is probably the best option if you want to do this kind of approach. Now let's reverse the situation. You're in a 1v2 after plant. You need to go looking for the fight, like Fallen does here. You see, he knows one's apps from his teammate just got killed a second ago. And he goes into market, probably the most likely spot to find a fight, as it's the most common rotating in spot. So you'll see he now knows where both of them are after that nade was thrown. Gets his first kill because he's looking for the fight in a wide open angle, which he had to be. And then he puts himself in a one-for-one situation, misses the shot. And I like this here. He commits to this angle here with an AWP. You can't be swinging back and forth wildly. He just takes the chance and gets it right. Comes back and peeks the left hand side, and Fallen's able to kill him quite easily. So as I said, in the 1v2 you can't just sit there and let the CTs collapse onto you. So you can't really just sit here at bench. I mean, you could hope the guy peeks out apps like he was, get the kill, and swing out and get this guy, you can hope. But a good team's going to com that, and this guy's just going to be zoned in on your position. You're less likely to win it because you're not really sure he's going to come out there, and you've got to play the guessing game where he has the info now. Or they'll just collapse on you together, get their timing right. What I like about what Fallen does, and what I do as well, is I come into market probably in a 1v2 and come and look for this fight. Again, the most common spot for people to rotate through is this market door and get this first kill. He knows the guy's app, so he knows he has time to run back out and reposition himself. But again, say he doesn't have time to do that, he gets his first kill, it's 1v1. The guy has two angles to worry about. He has to push Fallen most likely, especially with the plant. Taco planted it quite well for here. But again, it's a good plan for here as well. So this is what I like about how he played this 1v2, and that's the kind of thing I'd say you have to do is take the fight to get them. Also, you can play 1v2. You can play it a little bit differently without taking the fight to them, such as you could play up on short. There's a clip I found of Pasha doing this. I just didn't include it in this video, but like you can get the kill, get the second one, and just hope it works out. You can do a similar thing to that short angle with A main. If you want to play something like this, hope the guy peeks, you turn it into 1v1 and just win this 1v1 fight. The other way for A is you could push CT, as I was talking about before, the 2v1. The problem with two people alive in this situation, say you plant the bomb here or something and then you're going to run, the chance of you getting spotted from connector or something are relatively high. So it couldn't be a little bit harder on the A side. Obviously the A is easier to retake for the CTs as well. Another spot I'd like to play is one where you can catch them off guard but you're not really out of position, like what I was talking about pushing market on B. So you can play this angle here. Obviously you can get spotted from jungle, so you have to be aware of this, crouching up and down. Molotov, very common Molotov spot, but you can come and peek this angle, and you also can peek these angles, but you need to be peeking the angles. And if you kill the guy CT, you can come around to this box, maybe try to peek this guy, and just play around this box, and it can be quite hard for the CT to find you the second one after you get this first kill here or first kill here. Again, you can't be too passive at this kind of position. Just sitting here is not going to achieve anything. It's kind of like what I was talking about with snacks in that first clip, is you have to peek off here, peek up, and take the fight to them. Something I want to say really quickly, if your team does the A execute, please don't plant here. Jump over to here and plant for more of an open A main plant. I mean, you're not exposed to any extra angles. So this round I've picked here is a little bit different. It's on the A side, of course, but it's also, it's actually a failed round by SK. They failed the after plan at 4v4. You see Fur pushes CT here. I like this. I would have liked maybe another player to go with him. Not really sure what he's doing now, but he comes back into this spot, which I don't mind. It's quite aggressive on the CT. Now you'll see he gets the first kill here, and he knows another player there. That's a losing fight for him. I would have liked to see Coldzera peek out and help him, like what I was talking about before, possibly turn it into a 4v2, but instead Fer gets left out. This is the only thing I really like about this, is they were both peeking together on the guy on stairs. But besides that, there was no real teamwork. It was just a lot of 1v1 duels, which they lost. And I mean, especially that first thing where Fer was just, they knew where he was, there was nowhere for him to go, and he's just left out there. Now I realise that was probably a little bit confusing, it'll happen very fast, so I've put this together. If it's helpful, let me know. If it's not, also let me know. So you'll see here, as we saw before, you're looking at the bottom two screens to start off with. So the bottom left, what we already saw, that first kill. And you see Cold's doing essentially nothing, a little bit of info. So if he'd peeked, could have helped out. So you'll see he just gets his timing wrong. Taco peeks out, I like that, trying to delay. But now you look at the top two screens. See, they're both fighting that guy on stairs, but they end up getting killed at the same time. The flank comes in, which they were very worried about to start off with. If you check your top screen, you'll see Fallen still checking at the top right there. Eventually decides to come back here. And so there's Cold dying again. And then the double peek comes in, which I quite like. And if you're looking at Taco here, you see he's trying to fight. And that's what you have to do. If you're stuck in Palace, you end up stuck there and after plan, even though it's not the best spot. You need to peek at every now and then, not just sit there and let them collapse on top of you. Just a side note quickly, Coldzera not peeking that angle from Firebox to help out Fer is the main reason Freiburg is replacing him. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this video. Obviously, there's something new. Tell me if it's rubbish, good, bad, whatever. And I'll catch you guys later.